Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's Jennifer, and today's video is a drill with me. I started a new painting last night or yesterday on my live. My daughter has decided that she wants to finish her Christmas present that I started for her. So she is working on Disney princesses instead of me. Um, Sorry, my eyes this morning. Ooh. So she is working on that one. We moved it into her room yesterday. So I am doing Who You Say I Am. It's a Mandy Manzano from Diamond Art Club. So this I started it and I am now on this section. And I didn't get as far as I would have really thought I would have. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't. But that's okay. So we're going to start drilling and chatting and so forth. Oh, goodness. It's a Monday. I'm telling you. This morning, um, I guess we'll get into that after I go through my whole week from last week. uh, so this past week has been kind of, um, I guess, quiet, slow, not really a whole lot going on. We, me and the kids didn't really do a whole lot as, kids went back to school on Thursday. The boys did. And they didn't want to go. They didn't want to go. They just looked at me like, do we have to? And, they knew they had to. So it was kind of like, but they just didn't, you could tell. I could just look at their faces like, and then this morning was prime example. Sky didn't want to go back to school. I could just look at his face and see, and I knew Justin didn't either because he had a rough weekend. But yeah, they just didn't want to. They just looked at me like, do I have to go? But I know I do. And they just kind of let it go at that. And of course, I've got a shadow from my camera. Sorry. So they went, and I think after being home for a week and a half, they kind of, are kind of spoiled. And which, I get. I get it. Trust me. I totally get it. I know when I worked for the school system and um worked um and you had, of course, when I worked for a school system, we had 2 weeks off, and we got that 2 weeks vacation. And I didn't want to go back to work. I really didn't. I hated it. I dreaded it as soon as, January 2nd rolled around. And I could tell when they they got up. They thought, and I could see the point too, because, they were off most of the week last week except for Thursday and Friday. And I can see where they're coming from because, they didn't, Justin had made the comment to me, um, that last Thursday night, like, do we really have to go to school? It doesn't make any sense for us to go for 2 days and then, oh yeah, be off school Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then, oh, yeah, you got to go to school Thursday and Friday. And, and I could see, it was, he was like, what's the point? And, I could see where he was coming from on that note. And it was just, I totally got it. And I just looked at him and I said, dude, just go and, grin and bear it. And just, and he did. And they both did. But you could tell they didn't want to go. So that was that. So they, and of course, when Friday afternoon or whatever, well, Friday night, when they got home from school, they were like, yay, we can be home we can sleep in on Saturday and Sunday. And so, so it was kind of like, okay. So, but yeah, that was our New Year's was pretty good. Um, I usually don't stay up and watch the New Year end because I can never make it past 10 o'clock most of the time. And I think the only reason that I was able to was because of the fact that Miranda, my daughter, had her boyfriend over. So, and we were hanging out, and all three of us were, hanging out and talking and so forth. And I didn't really pay attention to the time, but I was kind of shocked that I actually made it past to midnight. Not past, but to midnight. And because usually I'm in bed by 10 o'clock. That's, and of course, then she looked at me. She's like, you know what time it is, right? And I said, no. She said, Mom, it's like 20 minutes to 12. And I was like, oh, because we got caught up watching, movies like Die Hard and I forget what else we all watched. And yeah, so that's what we did. And so it was basically just a quiet, couple of days. And then her boyfriend, who some of you met, but he ended up coming and staying on the weekend, and he took her out on a date yesterday, and they went to Applebee's, and of course I teased her. I said, if you're going to Applebee's, you need to bring your mommy some food. So she did. She brought me some leftover chicken Alfredo, which I've never ever had chicken Alfredo. I know y'all are gonna say, really? No, I've never had chicken Alfredo before. Never ever. And let me tell you, that stuff was good stuff. I was like, holy crap. So yeah, and of course I couldn't finish it all. So I gave it to Justin because he wanted some. So he ate that, and then my best friend brought me this big huge ham. So we have that, and which I was kind of worried about this past week because I get food stamps every month, along with my monthly income that I get every month from SSI for Skylar. And well, they goofed up. They didn't get my paperwork or something. And I mean, long story short, my food stamps got cut off. So, I was kind of stressing out because, we were down to the last, whatever. And I was kind of freaking out, stressing out. I wasn't stressing out to the point that I was like, having a depression issue. I was just stressing out. So finally, my best friend, she messaged me and she says, I got this big, huge ham. I was like, okay. So she brought that over to me. And I don't want y'all thinking that I don't take care of my kids. I do. It's just very hard when, you only have one income and then you have the food stamps. And I don't talk about me having food stamps because not that I'm embarrassed. It's just, yes, it helps, but yeah, I just don't like talking about it. So she, we had that. We're pretty good. So, because I mean, especially after Christmas, everything was kind of like really, really tight and financially wise. We were just like, okay, and we're going to be able to do this. Am I going to be able to do? Yeah. And believe me, it gets to that point, and it's been. So I think I'm finally getting back in the groove. We'll see. I'm hoping I will be. It's just, it gets hard when you don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, so that was my being concerned last week and why I probably kind of sounded kind of funny in my last video, but I wasn't trying to, trust me. I get frustrated and annoyed and irritated, and that's what happens. So, but then I got cheered up last week. Mrs. Coffee, I have you to thank for this. Um, I was going through Facebook, and that's another thing I need to fix too, and I'll explain all that in a minute. And I was going through Facebook and going through, my groups and everything, and the groups that I'm in, and I saw in my notifications, and I saw that I was tagged. And I thought, okay. So I clicked on it. Oh my God. So Mrs. Coffee tagged me in a post for Diamond Art Club. And I was like, holy crap. There's a painting. And I'm going to be, yeah, I'm going to be ordering it this week. Those of you that know, I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know if it's been released yet. But it's a new release that I think is coming out today. And yeah, I was like, holy crap. So I have that in my cart. And that just kind of made my day and kind of cheered me up a little bit. Made my week, actually. So thank you, Mrs. Coffee. So yeah, I'm kind of, I've got that, ready to go. And I want to order some more patty wax. Those of you that don't know, Kaya Rose, aka Amanda Mayer, got me some patty wax for Christmas. I- I have to say, it makes, to me anyway, now this is just my opinion, and I know there's 90% of us out there that like it and so forth, and I have to say I'm really, really, really impressed, and I'm liking the patty wax. It just takes a minute to get used to it. I was having some problems loading the crap, loading my multi-placers, and after watching Mrs. Coffee's video and Distracted by Diamond's video, I finally got the hang of it. It's, I think, and I'm kind of glad that, I got it. This is my practice block. So once now that I've kind of got the hang of it, and, I'm still learning it a little bit. I mean, it still has its moments, but I'm going to be ordering another. I'm hoping I can get two this weekend. This Wednesday. So I'm going to look on there before Wednesday morning and see what they got, because there was a couple on there I wanted, but she was sold out. So I'm just gonna, keep my fingers crossed. because I'm like everybody else that I know that drinks coffee. I love coffee. I mean, I've got my big cup of coffee here, and I would love. I'm hoping. I'm holding out hope that the coffee one is going to be um, available. Excuse me. When I look on Wednesday, because I really really want that one, and the cookies and cream one. I've there's a whole bunch on there that I wanted to get. I was like, holy, but I'm only going to buy a couple, because in that way, this the Mermaid Lagoon is my practice, my whatever, my trial run. So, but I'm enjoying it. I really like it. Um, and I think, well, now that I think about it, I think I'll get my daughter the cookies and cream one, and I'll just show her how to use it. Unless, of course, she just wants to stick to the wax. We'll see, because she hasn't really said. I'm having issues here, guys. Hold on. I'm trying to, I'm trying to, make sure that, there we go. But I'll see. I'll ask her. Because, of course, she might want to stick with the wax. And if she does, then, I'll let her. I won't push the issue. So, see, I'm getting all up on different. So that was that, that was all yeah. Ugh. See, I'm all over the place this morning, and I can't even remember what I was going to say. Um, so I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Um, dang it. This is bad when you have a freaking moment. So, oh, and I'm hoping I need to get another diamond pen. I want another diamond pen. I found a couple. Um, so yeah, and I maybe you guys know where can I get these tips. I can get them on Amazon, I think. I don't know, but I don't know how to search for them. So I need to get some of these because, yeah, especially if, shoot, I'm spitting everywhere. Especially if I'm going to be using patty wax and, having to change and starting with a clean, tip and so forth. So, but everything, I mean, last week was pretty good up until, I want to say Saturday night. I can't, my days are running together, but I want to say until Saturday night. Um, we were all, my Miranda and her boyfriend John and I were all sitting out in the living room, and we were watching a movie, and I didn't even know that my phone went off. I had no clue that my phone had gone off. I guess I had it on silent and I just didn't realize it. I don't know. So we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, Justin came out of his room, and I, I thought something was wrong. First it looked like he was laughing, and okay, you all may say, okay, well, your son's being a wuss. One thing about him is he's very, very sensitive. It's just like me, just like Miranda. We're all sensitive. The only one, and so is Skylar. And so we were sitting here, and I happened to look up at him, and I thought he was laughing. And at first, I started to ask him, what was so funny. And then the next thing I know, he falls down. He just literally just falls down on the floor. And I can tell he's not laughing by this point. I said, son, what's wrong? His girlfriend broke up with him. Yes, I know. He's 18. Yes, I know he's going to probably, there's a lot of fish in the sea. I was told the same thing. But, he's never had a girlfriend before. And he's been with her a little over a year and a half. And, he really liked this girl. Well, those of you that, and if you remember in my video after Thanksgiving, he had some drama with her and her family. Well, they kind of fixed that situation. So I thought, okay, everything's going to be okay now, blah, blah, blah. Well, long story short, his girlfriend's mother decided that she was going to move to South Carolina. Well, at first, they wanted Justin to go. And, Justin was kind of up in the air about it. And he told me, what they had offered. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And, he, he really didn't come out and say it, but I think he just wanted to wait until he graduated. Well, his girlfriend, or his ex-girlfriend now, I guess, she had gone down to spend Christmas with her mother in South Carolina. She was staying up here with the stepdad. So he hadn't heard from her. He had heard from her, then he told, that's when she decided on Christmas Day that she wanted to stay in North Carolina and, or South Carolina. And I guess they were going to try to, I guess make it work. I don't know. So, he was kind of upset on Christmas Day about it, which, okay, I can understand, where he's coming from, blah, 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 blah. And he seemed to get over it a little bit. And he doesn't really open up that much with me, which, it's fine. Everybody in my house is like that. And that's, a curse, I guess. I don't know. So, when he broke down in the hallway the other night, come to find out he hadn't really spoke to her since, what is going on here? I have no, okay. Oh, there it is. No wonder I can't pick it up. It came out. That's my fault. He hadn't really spoke to her. So, I asked him, I said, well, he says, well, I haven't really spoke to her since, New Year's Day or before New Year's. And I just looked at him and I said, really? And he says, yeah. I thought, okay. So I asked him what was wrong. And he told me. He said she broke up with me. I said, what? And he said, yeah, she broke up with me. Well, the bad part was, mind you, you know, okay, if you're going to break up with somebody, don't expect your mother to do it for you. That's just, I'm sorry. That's not, to me, that's wrong. So, and the only reason I say that is because he told me that her mother texted him and broke up with him. Only because I guess when he texted, her mother's phone to talk to her, her mother, flat out told him that Josie had broken up with her, or broken up with him. And so, Justin was like, well, I want to hear it from her mouth. So, that's what happened. And I just, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's, I'm not saying this to be, wrong, but that family, to me, has a lot of problems. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying, not everybody is perfect. I'm just saying. So I said, well, have you talked to Josie? And he says, yeah, finally. And she, came out and said that she wanted, uh, she needed time to herself, something about bettering herself. I don't even know. And I just looked at him. I was like, okay. So he's been kind of out of it. I don't know. He's been kind of out of it. So I know it's gonna take time. And Miranda's boyfriend, took him out, and they went out to for a walk after he told me what after Justin had told me what happened. And then then seemed like he was okay. And so he and I on Saturday went for a walk, and it was a nice day outside, so it was kind of and he and I went for a walk, and we talked. And I told him, I said, it's going to take time. And I said, I know, this is your first girlfriend, and other reasons to why, and I get it. And he's like, I know, but it's just the point. And I said, I know. I said, but don't let it get you down. Don't, I said, it's going to take time, but you need to try to, I guess, deal with it. So he seemed like he was okay. So we'll see. I'm hoping that, he is, but I kind of, felt bad for him, and I still do, because, I can see in his face, um, here and there, when his mind's not occupied with other things, I can tell, that he's thinking about it. And yeah. So, but we shall see. And that really is about all of that. Let's see what else. My daughter finally went on her first date with her boyfriend yesterday, and they went to Applebee's, and then she went to meet his parents, which I was kind of shocked at that one because I thought, you're not even going to give her like a minute to even. But apparently they liked her, so that was the good thing. So I was kind of, I wasn't surprised because I know my daughter, because she's, one of these lovable people. So yeah, it was kind of cool. And it was all right. She came home and she brought me the Applebee's food, and, then we sat and watched. No, we didn't watch movies. What did we do? Oh, I watched them play Nintendo Switch with Skylar and all that good junk, and basically it was just a pretty quiet weekend. I'm just one of those ones that stays to himself. So, I don't go in, many places. So, but I was sitting out there making I guess a list is what you want to call it, of changes and that I want to make. And Miranda asked me what it was, and I told her. I said, it's just a list of things that I want to change this year. She just looked at me. She's just like, really? I was like, what? She says, Mom, you always make this list. And I was like, yes, I know. So I've made a list of some things that I want to change this year, and some things that, so one of them is yeah. No, I forgot. No, I'm just kidding. One of them is changing, doing some different things for my, not different things like as to show on my channel, but different things like as in editing. And so I'm going to be working on that, trying to figure that stuff out. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. And I'm not one of these people. I mean, I'm very, very shy. So I'm trying to change that too, where I'm, not as shy as I am on the camera. Because sometimes I just don't. Sorry. It's just me. This is just how I am. So, and I want to try to have some, have a little bit more, I don't know what you call it, fun on my channel. If that even makes sense. And I don't like sharing personal stuff, but, it's, I was told to do me. So that's what I'm going to do. But this, I know I told some of you in my live yesterday, but there's a story behind this painting. And I think I talked about it in my unboxing. My son Justin, when he was born, and I think I even talked about it when I did his birthday video back in September, but I don't remember. When he was born 6 weeks early. And he was premature. And when he was born, he had a flap that is, I guess, covers, I don't know if it covers a hole. I don't remember. But they considered it a hole. And I guess if not treated properly, it could cause problems later on. So, the way the doctors explained it, they kind of, freaked me out a little bit. And not only that, when I was carrying him for the, 9 months, my water broke early. I've never had my water break with any of my children. And had no clue what it felt like. And I was, sitting here and went to go to the bathroom. Thought I had to pee. Obviously not. Well, I didn't know that that's what it was. I had no clue that my water had broke. So for 4 days, I had no amniotic fluid in my belly protecting Justin. He could have died, basically. So anyway, when I was deciding what in October when I bought this, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted, Justin happened to look down at my screen on my phone and he's like, that reminds me of a guardian angel. And I said, do you like this? And he says, yeah, but don't put it in my room. I thought, okay. So this is basically his painting, kind of, his little story of how it's not a guardian angel, but it's close enough. So, yeah. I hope that made sense. Because I'm not making sense this morning. I hope that made sense. But yeah, that's basically, the gist of the whole, reason behind this painting. So, but I'm really enjoying it. The colors are not, too bright and they're not too dark. So, which is kind of the good thing. And it just, it felt good to start something else. Because then I didn't have to worry about whether or not that Disney Princesses was going to get complete. I hope she completes it. She says she wanted to do it, so we'll see. We will see. And I started my I set up my book challenge on Goodreads the other day, so I've started that. And usually when I set it up, my goal for the year is 100 books. I never complete it. So I dropped it down. I don't even remember how much I dropped it down to. But yeah, so I've already got 2 stories that I'm listening to now. So started that. Hopefully, that can be, I can complete the challenge this year. It would be nice because I've never completed one of those. So we'll see. But anyhow, I'm sitting here trying to think. I think that's it, guys. No, it's not. I know I said I was going to make some changes. There are going to be some changes. I know I didn't elaborate when I was talking about it. There's going to be some changes, yes. In my personal life, just things that I need to do for myself. And channel-wise, yes. I'm right now trying to figure out how to divide my channel up between stitching and, of course, diamond painting. So I'm working on that. And it's not going to happen overnight. The editing, which, I'm still kind of working that out. There's a couple other things, but because I was told, yeah, see, this is, I sit here and I start relaxing and I think about what I want to say, and then my mind goes all over the place. I'm sorry. Anyway, there's going to be some changes made. Um, I was thinking of bringing the drill with me back that I had on Fridays, where I talked about, the books I'm reading and so forth. And not a lot of people seem interested in that. So I've been thinking about basically, excuse me. Um, I do a drill with me on Monday. So I'm thinking about just starting I think the title is going to be Wind Down Friday, where I diamond paint. And, I don't know. I haven't decided, because then if I do that, I don't know. I've been thinking about doing that, because I have 3 videos that I solely, or 3 days that I solely concentrate on for, stitching, floss tube, a stitch with me, then a live stream. So that it's in the middle of the week for stitching. So I was just kind of, I want to do uh, 3 diamond painting videos, but I don't want to overwhelm people. So I think that's what it's going to be called. I've been trying to come up with names, titles for my videos, like, because my drill with me's are on Mondays. So I've been trying to come up with something for, that. And that's, one of the things that I want to do. So, yeah. And I know there are some of you that have told me I am not, how do I put it? I'm not funny enough. I don't know how funny you want me to be. I mean, shoot. I guess I could be like I am in my lives. But yeah. So we'll see. I'm just, I'm making changes. So we'll see. I mean, you guys can leave suggestions in the comments below. If you think of something that you please leave comments below. Any, um suggestions, I will take openly. Um, you know, I like y'all's input. Do I always get the input? No. But I would really love, you guys to give me input on that. So that's where that's going. Um, and one of the other things I wanted to do this year was to complete my diamond paintings. I have the holiday diamond painting, but I put that aside because I'm gonna wait and finish it. I'm gonna start it back in like September. I'm gonna start it back up in September, and that way it'll give me enough time to get it completed and ready for Christmas. And because when I started that, and when I decided to, start it, yeah, I didn't have enough time to finish it. It's still sitting there. It's on my dining room table in the living room now, I'm getting ready to hang it up in closet, and um, until Christmas, because it'd be kind of crazy for me to work on a Christmas diamond painting in the middle of January, even though Christmas was just a month ago. But that's okay. So But and not that I was getting overwhelmed with doing um I was getting overwhelmed because I had 4 diamond paintings on the go. And that wasn't that was, the holiday one. My Saturday project, which I'm still working on that. Um, then my Cat on a Bookshelf, and then Disney princesses. And I couldn't do them all. So I just solely concentrated on the Disney princesses until my daughter decided that she wanted to finish it. So um, now I'm just going to concentrate on this and finish my Cat on a Bookshelf, because there's not that many left. There's not that many sections left on Cat on a Bookshelf. So, and I've been trying to decide if I want to get a easel, a tabletop easel to sit out in the living room to diamond paint, but I I've I haven't decided yet, because when I go out in the living room, that's when I cross stitch. So I'm, like I said, there's a lot of things I want to do. There's a lot of changes I want to make. So there's just, I've got to finish what I got to do. And yes, I apologize. I was going to make a video for you guys to let you guys choose which one I was going to start. But Skylar chose. Little dude chose for me. So he chose this, which is fine. So that's what he did. And because he says, Mommy, this is pretty. And when Justin and I decided this one, when Justin and I were talking about this one and so forth, he told me, he says, Mom, it kind of goes with the living room. So just hanging out in the living room, and, because I'm not going to put anything that looks like this in my room, because he's not, trust me. So, when Justin saw I was working on it, or starting to work on it yesterday, he kind of got a grin on his face, and he says, You're working on it? I said, Yes, I am. And he's like, Cool. So, he's excited that I started on it. So, of course, he kind of looked at me yesterday after I got off my live. And believe me, we had a ball yesterday on my live. But yesterday, he looked at me funny. He says, and he was watching me because he saw the section that I had started. And he's like, Mom, what? You're usually finished at least the section when you're live. I was like, I know. He's like, What happened? I said, We just got goofing off. And I said, not only that, John, Miranda's boyfriend, was being funny. And, we were having a good old time. He just started laughing. He's like, Oh, okay. I see. So, yeah, Miranda's boyfriend is a mess. He works out here. And I know I didn't explain this to you all. He works out here. And he's been a maintenance guy here in our complex for about a year. And he seems like he's a pretty good guy, or at least that, And he and I became friends beforehand. And I mean, it wasn't like, we were trying to be, anything other. We just, hung out. We talked. We had a lot in common, blah, blah, blah. So, and we just became friends. And I think it was like the day after Christmas. Yes, it was the day after Christmas. Um, he and my daughter started dating. So they've been together 2 weeks. And so they he's pretty, and his humor. Oh my gosh. His humor I'm gonna tell you, it's it's crazy because he has me laughing so much all the time, and I think he had everybody in my live yesterday laughing because I all I could do was sit here and shake my head because I that's all I could do because I was just like, really, and everybody in the live was just enjoying it. I mean, there were some I know that didn't, stop, talking and so forth, and but he he won the hearts of everybody in my live yesterday. I just thought it was just funny. He was just a sweetheart. And, I have to give him credit. He's better than the last boyfriend she had because that one was just a mess. But yeah, he's pretty decent with her, and he treats her like she should be treated. So that's a good thing. And he took her out on a date yesterday, first date, and they had fun. So that was, and I just like how she, and she's, I mean, you guys know she's very, I don't know if you guys, because she's not, well, no, it's been a while. Last year, she did a live with me, and she's very quiet, and she doesn't, get involved. She doesn't, like, socialize a whole lot. And, I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. That's just how she is. Except, for her depression and anxiety and um so on. But now she's, completely totally different. And it's just, it makes me smile because, she would never, as like right now, she's out in the living room. She wouldn't be out in the living room if now that I've seen how she is now. Beforehand, she would stay closed up in her room, even when she was dating the last guy. This guy's completely different. So I'm kind of, I don't even know how to put it, but yeah, I like this guy so much better. He's, he's really, really, he's sweet to her and he pays attention to her, so that's a good thing. All right. So, trying to think. Anything else? I need to stop saying that too. So that's it, guys, and I hope everyone has had a good week. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you want to see more of these Drill With Me's, you know, please, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. And any questions, comments, you can leave them below. And thank you for watching and have a great day.